But just before we get started, those of you who were here early this morning when we started, we talked a little bit about the significance of the Empire Wind Rush and the arrival of many great people on board that boat. One of them, and London is the place for me, and that's now been on television, there's shows carrying that title and so on. On board was also that very humble, shy, black musician, HAROUN, who nobody really knew much about at the time. And HAROUN went on, he was not only a calypsonian, he was also a handman. He went on to Liverpool, and there he worked in a number of jobs. He was a lorry driver, worked in bars, he was a decorator, a builder, and even a nightclub owner. And around the same time, the Beatles, the famous Beatles years to come, was nurturing their career. There is absolutely no doubt that he played a significant part in the Beatles as we know them today. And there's been a lot of controversy about this, but there is absolutely no doubt at all about it. And sadly, this is something that happens in history all the time, over and over. This morning we heard in the first of the Calypso sessions the powerful medium of Calypso and what it can do. And I urge you today, Calypsonians sing at the ABC, they sing in Calypso 10s, and that's a great thing. But Calypsonians today are taking a much more powerful role in society. They have websites, they're narrating their stories, and I would urge everybody, if you haven't seen it, look at the David Rudder website and follow it, what's going on. He's very political, he says a lot of very powerful messages, and almost something that goes in harmony in tandem with this sort of story that James will narrate in a few minutes. Some of you would have seen that just a few weeks ago, Bob Dylan's daughter got married. And it was shown on a few films, but what happened? Why did this all his daughters, there were pictures of them, but this particular one was hardly shown. And you know the reason for that is? This girl was black. She was a Trinidadian, and this daughter is darker than the rest. So all his other daughters are shown on the Facebook, but not this one. Now, I am sure there's hardly a person in this room does not admire Bob Dylan. But does it not make you question when people like him, people like the real grassroots worker, John Lennon, disregarded a man of such stature that did something to themselves. But more than that is how much the attempts by the media to obliterate him, to take a picture, and people like Kim Johnson's here has written about it, it's been in Panpodium, we knew this over the years, but it's always been, well, it was maybe subjective. One person took on that role to challenge it, and this is the person with us today. James. And I heard it through your BBC Merseyside interview, and when that started filtering down. And I remember reading this and went absolutely wild that somebody did this. I emailed James, and to my absolute delight, within less than an hour, he emailed me back saying, I'll be happy to come and do this. So, without further ado, I'll pass you on to, I think, one of the authorities on the subject, and I tell you, you're really in for a treat. Thank you very much.